What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So, 4-division world champion, Mexican superstar boxer, who is currently the undisputed super middleweight world champion, widely considered by many to be the face of the sport of boxing, top 5 pound-for-pound best fighters in the world, Saul Canelo Alvarez, 57 wins, 2 losses, 2 draws, 39 big wins by way of knockout. He is 31 years of age, 5'8", with a 70-inch arm reach. With that said, Canelo Alvarez is coming off the second loss of his career to undefeated WBA light heavyweight world champion Russian superstar boxer Dmitry Bivol. Dmitry Bivol is now 20 wins, no loss and no draw, 11 wins by way of knockout. He is 31 years of age, 6 feet tall with a 72-inch arm reach. That took place May 7th, Cinco de Mayo weekend. And Canelo Alvarez, he got outclassed in that fight with Dmitry Bivol. Okay, he lost a unanimous decision, but it wasn't even close. Okay, this is the second loss in Canelo Alvarez's career. Back in September of 2013, he suffered his first loss to legendary, retired, undefeated, iconic Hall of Fame superstar boxer Floyd Money Mayweather Jr., in which Floyd Mayweather retired 50-0. But Floyd Mayweather, he dominated Canelo Alvarez, winning every single round. And this fight against Dmitry Bivol, fast forward 9 years later, he lost just essentially about every single round, all but 3 rounds, right? So he was outclassed against Dmitry Bivol. And initially, Canelo Alvarez, he stated the better man won. Then Canelo Alvarez, he changed his tune, and he stated that he thought that he won the fight. The judges just didn't make the right decision. Now Canelo Alvarez, he's stating that he don't want to make excuses, but he don't feel like he was 100%. He knows he wasn't 100% going into the fight with Dmitry Bivol, stating that now he couldn't train like he wanted to. He stated that essentially he had an injury that he doesn't want to disclose because he stated that he don't want to make up any excuses. Okay, but at the end of the day, he says that he don't want to make up any excuses, but he tells the world he was not healthy, okay? And he don't want to disclose the injury in which he suffered, okay? But he stated that when asked how come he didn't go throw his typical signature uppercuts, okay? And Canelo Alvarez, he said he fatigued, and once again, he pointed to the fact that he had an undisclosed injury that he don't want to reveal, okay? And so he's saying that, you know, he got tired. So essentially, he's saying he couldn't train and he couldn't prepare like he normally does. And then he said he got fatigued at some point in time in the fight. That's why he couldn't throw his signature uppercut. Well, Canelo Alvarez, he did attempt to throw his signature uppercut in the fight. He just was unable to be successful with the signature uppercut. If you look at rewatch the fight, a few times when he had, you know, Dmitry Bivol on the ropes, he threw the uppercut. There was a few times he actually landed the uppercut, okay? But at the end of the day, you know, Canelo Alvarez, he was just outclassed. He was outmatched. Dmitry Bivol, everybody pointed to the size of Dmitry Bivol, okay, saying that, you know, it was the size that won the fight, not the skills. Well, no, it was the skills that won the fight for Dmitry Bivol. He was pivoting Canelo Alvarez. He was turning Canelo Alvarez. He was using his jab. He was countering Canelo Alvarez. He was using his ring IQ, his smarts, his jab, his fundamental skill set. That's what won, you know, Dmitry Bivol the fight, not his size, okay? And so Canelo Alvarez had moments. But Canelo Alvarez has always struggled with guys that have mobility. And surprisingly, Dmitry Bivol, he showed a lot of mobility in this fight. But he was making Canelo Alvarez miss in the phone booth. Okay, that's where most important was, because in the phone booth, he was making Canelo Alvarez miss. Okay, so Canelo Alvarez now is saying that, you know, he was injured, but he don't want to make up any excuses. He don't want to reveal or disclose the injury, but because he don't want to make up no excuses, but he wasn't 100% of himself, and he couldn't train like he normally trains, okay? Well, we saw no evidence of, obviously, we saw what they want us to see, but, you know, most fighters, they'll let you know they're 1,000% not healthy going into the fight, okay? just about every fighter will tell you they're never healthy going into the fight. They always have some sort of injury going into the fight. And so, it seems to me Canelo Alvarez heading into his trilogy showdown with two-time unified middleweight world champion, superstar boxer Gennady Triple G Golovkin. That fight, the trilogy is taking place September 17th at T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas, Nevada. So with that said, now Canelo Alvarez is, doing his press, he's doing his build up, and he's doing he's doing his making his rounds, okay? And he clearly is not happy with this situation with Gennady Golovkin. He clearly is frustrated, by this loss to Dmitry Bivol. One reporter, and shouts out to my brother KO Artist Sports. KO Artist Sports was asking them questions. Now, Gennady Triple G Golovkin, 42 wins, 1 loss, 1 draw, 37 wins by way of knockout, 40 years of age, 5'10.5" with a 70-inch arm reach. Canelo Alvarez was asked about, his loss. Everybody's inquiring about the loss to Dmitry Bivol, why he lost, and, do he plan on rematching Dmitry Bivol? And Canelo Alvarez, when KO Artist Sports, shout out to KO Artist Sports on YouTube, when he was asking him, some questions about Dmitry Bivol and will he rematch him, and what do you think about Dmitry Bivol fighting possibly in the Undisputed Showdown? He's the WBA champion, a showdown with now unified 3-belt undefeated light heavyweight world champion Russian superstar boxer Artur Beterbiev, who now holds the WBC, the WBO, the IBF, and the Ring Magazine title, okay? And so Canelo Alvarez, he stopped him. He said, you asking a lot of questions, a lot of future questions. I got to focus on right now. I got to focus on Gennady Golovkin. Got to handle that task in hand. And he said that this fight with Gennady Golovkin is personal, 100% personal, right? We know he even called Gennady Golovkin out his name. He said that he thought they was all good after the second fight. He said, but Gennady Golovkin had been slighting him and sneak dissing him after that. And so he said this dude is not a good dude. He's not, he's two different people. When the camera's on, he's one person. When the camera's off, he's a whole completely different person. So he says it's personal. He highly expects to knock out Gennady Triple G Golovkin, and he's letting it be known it's definitely personal. But I think it has a lot to do with the fact that he's coming off this loss to Dmitry Bivol, and Canelo Alvarez is feeling pressure. He's feeling pressure to show up and show out, right? His well-renowned trainer, 2-time trainer of the year, Eddie Reynoso, okay, who will be more than likely a future Hall of Famer. Eddie Reynoso, he's lost his handle, his grip on his stable. He had Andy Ruiz, former unified heavyweight world champion, Mexican superstar boxer, leave him. He had rising undefeated lightweight Mexican superstar title contender King Ryan Garcia leave him. He just had, Frank Sanchez, heavyweight title contender. He left him, so his entire stable. Oscar Valdez, 2-division world champion. He just lost badly to Shakur Stevenson. Now Canelo Alvarez loses badly to Dmitry Bivol. There's a lot of pressure over at Eddie Reynoso's gym and on Canelo Alvarez. Now Canelo Alvarez is carrying the torch, right? And he got to put on and put out and show up and show out, because Gennady Golovkin looked very vulnerable in his last few fights. His last fight with Murata, although he was victorious, but look at his last fight with Murata. He was hurt to the body a few times. He looked very vulnerable. He was hurt to the body by Sergey Derevyanchenko. So he just simply doesn't look like the same guy, and he's 40 years old. He's definitely not the guy Canelo Alvarez fought in the first and second fights. Absolutely not the same guy. So I believe that Canelo Alvarez is feeling a lot of pressure, to put on and put out. I think he's embarrassed by the way he lost to Dmitry Bivol. See, there was a built-in excuse when he lost to Floyd Mayweather that he was just too green. 23 years old, 5 title defenses, unification bout. But they said he was too green, 40-plus fights. He wasn't ready. Now he loses Dmitry Bivol. The only excuse they could come up with is the size difference, right? But he already won a title against former 2-time, 3-time light heavyweight world champion, superstar boxer Sergey Crusher Kovalev. He won the WBO title from Sergey Kovalev. So now, that he lost to Dmitry Bivol, they saying he was just daring to be great. but he already won a title at light heavyweight. So how could he possibly be daring to be great again? He already accomplished that. We already saw him win a title at 175. Okay, and Dmitry Bivol is smaller than Sergey Crusher Kovalev. So that's just a built-in excuse that went by the wayside. So let's see how this unfolds September 17th. That's all I got for y'all. Make sure you hit the like button. Drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue, Blue Blood Sports TV. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV. All one word. That's all I got for y'all. Peace.
Oh, it is your boy Jada Kiss. Make sure you check out Blue Blood Sports TV. It's going down.